Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today is November 8th, 2025, and here are the top cryptocurrency news stories. We'll start today's episode with the US government, where the US Senate will vote on a bill to reopen the government next week. Moving on from the US, we'll go to US ETFs and start with spot Bitcoin ETFs, which closed at negative $558 million on November 7th. As for Ethereum ETFs, we see the same picture, with closes at just negative $46 million. As we can see, during this period when the price of Bitcoin is falling sharply, we have more volume in Bitcoin ETFs than in Ethereum ETFs, because when things are not going well in a market, everyone turns to safe havens. And for our market, that's Bitcoin, as you can see. For this reason, Bitcoin dominance has risen again. Continuing with ETFs, I would like to tell you that a Dogecoin ETF could be coming in 20 days. Bitwise, which has filed for a Dogecoin ETF, seems to be using the automatic approval process to get this ETF in 20 days, because as we said, the US government is shut down, so the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC is not working on its approval, so they will get it on their own. And finally, on the subject of ETFs, I would like to tell you that JPMorgan is buying a lot of Bitcoin in ETF form. Specifically, JPMorgan has been rapidly increasing its exposure to BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF. In the third quarter, it bought 2.07 million shares of BlackRock iShares. From our ETFs, it's time to turn to those who want to buy cryptocurrencies. We'll start with Kazakhstan, where the government wants to create its own $1 billion cryptocurrency reserve. According to the information we have, which is not 100% certain, Kazakhstan is considering selling state assets, such as gold for example, to buy Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. This is definitely a move we'll see more of in the future. Continuing, let me tell you that American Bitcoin, a company that the President of the United States is involved in, has increased its Bitcoin assets and now holds $415 million worth of Bitcoin. Mr. Saylor's strategy, and as we know from Crypto News, is working well. He came to Europe and managed to raise $715 million to buy more Bitcoin. Tether is buying and has bought $97 million worth of Bitcoin, while ARK Invest continues to buy cryptocurrency companies and recently bought $9 million worth of shares in Bitmine, a company that is constantly buying Ethereum. Continuing with our coins, we will now move on to Zcash, which, as you already know from Crypto News, is doing very well in its price and has only slightly declined because Bitcoin is apparently declining. The important news for Zcash is that its price continues to rise, approaching an 8-year all-time high, something very important for its value. Let me tell you, for those of you who may not have seen it, in the episode 11 days ago, we talked about the reason why Zcash is going up, while the reason actually started 2 months ago with the problems of Monero, all of which you already know from Crypto News. We will also move on to Internet Computer, which a user asked me about why it is going up, and I looked it up to see if we could find anything interesting. And the reason is because it has very nice technological developments that I think justify its price increase. Let me tell you that Internet Computer first introduced us to Motoko, which is a programming language for Internet Computer that allows developers to quickly create applications for it. The important thing is that the code, at least as they advertise, is made in such a way that developers make as few mistakes as possible, or make the applications as correct as possible. Another thing that will help adoption is something called Internet Identity 2, which, as Sui has already done, instead of using 12 or 24 words to create a wallet, you can automatically log in through Google, for example, and someone can create a wallet very quickly with just 2 clicks and join the network. That will significantly increase adoption. As I said, another thing that runs on this network is something called Caffeine, which, as I understand it, runs on the Internet Computer. Caffeine has become quite famous in the last few days because it's basically a chatbot that allows anyone to just write whatever they want to create Dash apps or entire websites Dash just by talking to the bot without having to know any code or anything like that. Apps like that are something that we're going to see more and more of in the future. However, these are the main reasons why the Internet Computer is starting to rise this time and has already registered plus 188% on the weekly chart. And since we are talking about prices, let's move on to our favorite cryptocurrency market, with Bitcoin at $102,000, with the price literally making the same movements, as if someone were buying Bitcoin every day and then selling it, then buying again and selling again, at least these days. That wraps up the top news for crypto. Today is November 8th, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care everyone and have a good day.